All right, we're going to move from the NBA and The Last Dance to the NFL. Of course, they had the draft this past weekend. And Rob, I got to say this. I was impressed. I thought it was great. I wouldn't even mind if the drafts were like this all the time, because I loved getting to see, the draftees, their homes, and them with their families chilling. You saw it was some funny interactions with some of the draftees and their girlfriends, or moms and girlfriends and things like that. And then seeing the coaches' different houses, and, obviously Cliff Kingsbury stole the show with his place, and seeing Belichick's little pad was interesting. I just thought it was fun. Even Roger Goodell, there were funny memes about how he initially starts the draft off in a sports coat, and he's standing, and, and then everything's formal, so to speak. And then, he takes the coat off, and next thing you know, he's sitting down and he's lounging in his chair when he's announcing some of the later picks. So I just thought it was really well done and fun. And I felt like I got more out of that than your typical draft where everybody's at one place.
Yeah, I like the old draft better. I still think the moment of the kid being able to walk across the stage on that big moment was taken from them, and I get the situation and circumstance it's happening. Chris, as you know, with college graduations, you have 2 daughters about to graduate, and that moment, I think that's a special, special moment, and people accept what we had because that's all we had.
Right.
It's to do it that way. Do you know what I mean? So
it's definitely better for the kids or the draftees, which is what it's mostly
right?
about.
It's better.
Yeah,
it's
just
better.
Because it's an experience, an event.
You get to
Right.
You get to dress up and put on and make a statement. Everybody gets to watch that video. You hear the commissioner say your name, and you walk up and get a hat and shake his hand. I just think that's the part that I missed from it. And those are special moments. And you know what? They improvised. It was fine. But if they were like, well, let's do it like this from now on, I wouldn't be with that. I still think going to the big city, I know it was in New York forever, and they moved it around a little bit. But I think the draft was more special when you had a crowd and a house, the people who were filled, and the draft nicks upstairs, you know what I mean, who are all ready to cheer on their team.
Overall,
right?
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Players, I think for us, I think it's more fun. For me, I loved it. I thought it was fun. But for the players, who is mostly about, I agree, for them, it's better to have that type of ceremony, the pomp and the circumstance, right? Because it does become an event. So I agree with you there. Where we're likely to disagree is that you're a huge Carson Wentz guy, and he's great. He's a very good quarterback. But I thought the Philadelphia Eagles drafting Jalen Hurts in the second round, who I like a lot. I like Dak. I like Russell Wilson. I think he's similar. I think Jalen Hurts is very similar, more so to Dak. He's not going to overwhelm you with his physical tools, but they're good physical tools. They're above average physical tools as far as passing, as far as running. I mean, he ran a lot more in college than those two, Dak and Russell. And I think he's a winner. He's smart. He's intelligent. Teammates love him, respect him, look up to him. I thought some of the things he did in college, he showed mental toughness, getting benched, losing his job, and then coming in the SEC championship against Georgia and delivering. Like, I like him. And I think by drafting him as high as they did, I thought that the Philadelphia Eagles showed, we love Carson. Obviously, they gave him the huge deal, but they don't trust him. They don't trust his body. And they're very concerned about his ability to stay healthy. And I think rightly so. This is not, they're not bringing in his replacement, hopefully, for them. But they're concerned about Carson Wentz's ability to stay healthy, and they should be. I mean, the guy, he's played 2 full regular seasons, his first one and just this past one. But he got hurt in the, after 9 snaps, He got a concussion in the playoff game. I just think that they're showing you we're not certain about Carson. We're concerned, so we drafted a guy that can replace him if necessary.
I don't buy that at all. I look at it as just an insurance policy from the standpoint of the injury. But whether or not they believe in his ability, it's just about Chris.
To stay healthy.
If he's healthy, Hurts will never see the field. He won't see the field.
Yeah, but he's rarely healthy.
But he was healthy all of last year.
Till the playoffs.
We saw what happened last year when he had to rally his team, beat the Cowboys, a depleted team to beat the Cowboys to win the division and make the playoffs. That was the Wentz in a lifetime that they've seen.
Wentz
that
in a
they
lifetime?
know.
Can we stop
yes,
it with
no.
that? Can we
That's
stop
Wentz
it with
in a
that
lifetime.
Nickname? Wentz
That's,
in a
that's
lifetime.
what they saw last year. Dak Prescott came to Philadelphia with all of
that's the problem.
With everything to win.
Plays every once in a lifetime.
He played last year.
Week?
Played during the regular season, and it's just I get it. It's an insurance policy in case he can't stay healthy or he gets seriously hurt. I don't blame Philadelphia for that. But this in no way is about his ability as a quarterback.
Oh, no, I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying. This is not,
when he plays, he's very good. But he doesn't hardly play. And that's the problem.
But he played all last year, Chris, until the playoff game. He got hurt.
Well, you can't say until the playoff game.
But he
that's
played
part
a full
of the year.
regular. He played a full regular season for the first time since his rookie year.
And then when we needed you in the playoff game, you got injured
and he won the division.
Passes.
Well, I mean, he got hurt.
And don't give me the
Some
win
people
the
are like
division.
that.
I mean, come on.
And I've seen that. I told you that. And it could be different. I'm just telling you, Matthew Stafford was a China doll his first 3 or 4 years in the NFL. Go look it up. And now he hasn't been, and he got hurt last year at the end of he got hurt last season. But he went like 8 or 9 years of not being hurt and being an Iron Man and playing every down. So we'll wait and see, Chris. I don't blame them for making the move, but I'm not going to look at it as some indictment about Wentz's ability and what they think of him. If they really were questioning whether he was durable or whatever, they would have never given him that contract, never believed. They could have easily said, we got to wait and see, like the Cowboys are doing with Dak, and they didn't do that. They just paid the guy, gave him the raise, paid him what he's, to one up the last contract that was there. That, to me, showed me all I need to know. And if I'm Carson Wentz, I'm good with that because they paid me despite me not being 100% healthy and me being in and out of the lineup or whatever. That's all I need. There's nothing wrong with competition. You want to bring somebody else in here, that's fine. You got to feel good about your talent. There's always going to be younger guys coming along to try to take your job or outdo you or whatever it is. And the great ones, they're the ones who survive and stick around, and guys come and go.
The great ones aren't put in this position. And look, I agree with you in that this is not an indictment of Wentz's ability. Nobody in their right mind questions his ability. It's his durability. And that is a problem. And I think they believe in him when he's healthy. They gave him the contract.
I'll ask you one question.
But what happens is he plays the full year and then gets hurt again.
Chris, if he's healthy, who's the quarterback of the
Oh, that's not that question. I'm not even going to answer that because I said I agree. I started this off. This is not a controversy as far if Wentz is healthy. He is. There's no question about that. But he's hurt too much. And it goes back to college. And they are telling you we have concerns.
It's just
funny.
Let me hold on.
Let me finish. Last year was great for the regular season. But then you get hurt in the first playoff game in the first quarter? It's just more of the same.
But Chris, this is
and
where
every time a young quarterback has been, teams don't draft a backup in the second round when they got a young quarterback they believe is the franchise in his hands the next decade.
The Redskins
when is that? Yeah, and what happened? Kirk Cousins eventually replaced RG3.
Yeah, but he got hurt though. He got hurt.
And he came back healthy and couldn't play anymore.
But here's my point on where
every time this has happened. Go ahead.
Here's your point. Here's the problem that I have with your take, is that you're very inconsistent and you're all over the place. You're the one banging the drum for Tua, who's hurt, who has injuries, but you would draft him if you were a team, but you don't care about the injuries. You still would take him. But now you're going to say Carson Wentz is a problem because he's always hurt. So which one is it? Do you stay away from him because he's hurt, or do you draft Tua like you said? You were the one saying, oh, I would take Tua. I don't care about the injuries. They did this about so-and-so, and this player had injuries, and look what happened. They didn't want to take Drew Brees, and he wound up having a great career. So which one is it? Is it the injury matter, or do they not matter? Because you're not consistent.
I'm going to give you an answer. How dare the McCoat, the most inconsistent of all time,
you're inconsistent.
Consistency. I'm about
you
to
need
answer
a brand muffin.
I'm about to answer your question, Rob Parker. Tua had 2 years of injuries at Alabama. Carson Wentz has been injured every year since 2015 in the NFL. Okay? It's not the same. Carson Wentz has been injured a lot more. It was a couple times in college. This is a guy who was injured in college. Now he's injured in the pros virtually every year. That's different. That's apples and oranges. And let me say this, because, you might want to try to bring up, well, when Brett Favre, the Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers and all that nonsense. Brett Favre was 36 years old. Even this time with the Packers drafting the kid from Utah State, Jordan. Rodgers is 36. You do it with older quarterbacks. But, Rob, every time it's happened with a young quarterback who looks like he could be a franchise guy, whether it was when the Niners took Colin Kaepernick and already had Alex Smith. You mentioned Kirk Cousins and RG3. How about Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson? How about Drew Brees being young?
Joe Flacco went on and played 10 or 12 years and won a Super Bowl, Chris. It wasn't like he was replaced.
He was replaced.
He was replaced at the end of his career.
They didn't draft Lamar Jackson to start his career.
Yes,
he played that old.
He played what?
He played a few years. He played a decade. We got dudes playing 15, 20 years now.
But he went to Denver and played 1 year. He was finished he was finished.
Okay,
it ain't the same.
Even take Flacco out. How about
if you told me that Flacco played 8 years after, then maybe I would buy it.
Buy this. Alex Smith replaced by Colin Kaepernick. RG3 replaced by Kirk Cousins. Drew Brees replaced by Phillip Rivers. Mark Sanchez replaced by Geno Smith. Every time a team is drafted,
Geno Smith had a cup of coffee and a sweet roll. He started one game.
My point is this. Every time a team has already had a young quarterback that they thought was their franchise guy, and they went out and drafted another quarterback early, that other quarterback ended up replacing him. Injuries, bad play, whatever it was. And I'm just saying to you, this is more than, let's just draft another quarterback. No, this is a serious concern for the Eagles of Carson Wentz's ability to stay healthy. That's all it is. There's no denying that. I don't know why you're trying.
I'm not trying. I said it's an insurance policy. I said that.
That
was the first thing. No, it ain't. They believe in Carson Wentz. That's why he got paid.
Can stay healthy.
It's an insurance policy because of what's happened, but it has nothing to do with his talent. That's all it is.
You need more than that. With
Jimmy Garoppolo didn't play for
Tom Brady was like 36 years old. Stop it.
All I'm saying to you is that Hurts will not see the field if he stays healthy. This ain't about talent.
They're saying he will. They're saying he's going to be Taysom Hill. How you like that? If I'm Drew Brees and I'm 41, sure, I don't mind the little gimmicks when you bring in my backup to do this or that like Taysom Hill. But if I'm 27 and I want to fling it every down, I don't want no gimmick Taysom Hill, Jalen Hurts coming in to play, 5 plays a quarter or 5 plays a half. I don't need that. That's a problem. So this is more than you want to admit, Rob Parker. But
As usual, you're
and
a
the
prisoner
fans
of the
in
moment.
Philly
You're
are
always
upset.
overdoing it. We'll see what happens this year with the
The
Eagles and
fans
with
in
Carson
Philly
Wentz.
are look. I hope Carson stays healthy and plays. I don't like the idea of trying to use Hurts like Taysom Hill. If I'm Philly, if I'm Carson, I'm like I'm playing every down. What do you always say, Rob? When you got two quarterbacks, you got what?
To
Zero.
me, they only got one quarterback, and as long as Wentz in a lifetime is healthy,
Can you stop
Wentz is
it
going to
with
be
the
it.
nickname?
No, that's his nickname. Wentz in a lifetime.
He plays Wentz in a lifetime. That's the problem. And they think they got two. I don't like the Taysom Hill thing if I'm Carson. All right, what do you think? 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Should Carson Wentz be concerned about the Eagles' decision to draft Jalen Hurts in the second round?
Let's start with Tony in Texas. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Yes, sir. I think Philadelphia picked up a great pick. You can't get enough quarterbacks. You know how that is in the NFL. Plus, if he can groove them for 2 years, you know how they cut contracts in the NFL. If Carson Wentz doesn't stay healthy, they either trade him or they'll cut him because they're not guaranteed salaries. So I think it's a great pickup for them.
No, he's got his money. Yeah, his money's guaranteed.
107 of 128. Yep.
For the years that he has.
Right.
Most of his money is guaranteed.
It's guaranteed.
90%, yeah.
Exactly. So they still would have to pay him. But Dunk, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Duncan in Fresno, California. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Duncan?
Hey, guys. Love your show. Listen to it every day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, we appreciate that.
I got to say, Jalen Hurts, I'm surprised he went as far as he did in the draft. Big shock.
You thought he'd go earlier?
Oh, yeah. I thought Green Bay would have picked him up if they were going to get a quarterback.
Wow.
So why do you think he dropped, second round? He
didn't drop according to the projections.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody having it before that.
Yeah. I like him, though. I like him.
It's a big surprise because, Heisman runner-up? How do you pass that up to the second round?
Well, we've seen a lot of Heisman winners, not paying out in the NFL.
No, you're being nice, who have been terrible in the NFL.
Right.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah. So,
true.
College football and NFL football is different.
It's getting more similar, but it's different.
If they stuck with that RPO when they win the Super Bowl, I think they're gonna do great things with Jalen Hurts. Even if Wentz gets hurt, Jalen Hurts is going to come in, and I think he's going to excel.
Well,
Philadelphia makes the quarterback.
You think this is a controversy? A quarterback controversy brewing?
I don't think so. If they know that Wentz gets hurt, and history shows that he does, they're going to have a good quarterback to back him up. And if he excels, and if he ends up surpassing Wentz, then it happens.
Well, it's competition, and
it's a huge insurance policy. There's no doubt about it. So I get it. I do get it. All right, let's go to Greg in Minnesota. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Greg?
Hello, my friends. How you guys doing? Glad to be able to get through this evening.
Thank you.
Great. How are you?
Before I make my point, I just want to tell you guys, man, this format, this show, I've said it once before, but I can't reiterate it enough. This is an outstanding show. I just love you guys. The humor, you stay on point. It's just a fun entertainment 3 hours for me when I'm listening to this guy.
Man,
Greg,
you made our day. Yep,
yes,
absolutely.
We appreciate that.
But to the Jalen Hurts pick, I think it was a great pick. The one point is obvious. Nick Foles come in, they win a Super Bowl. He's a backup quarterback. But I think Philadelphia, if I can try to get in their heads just a little bit, they looked at this guy, Jalen, looked at his college career. When he was at Alabama, he was not that good of a passer. Look at how he's learned, how he's developed, how he's grown. And the previous caller just said, you don't get that many good quarterbacks, potentially great quarterbacks. I do think, though, that if Carson Wentz can show that he can stay healthy, then Jalen Hurts, I don't think will remain with the Eagles for more than 2 or 3 years because that contract is he's a rookie. It's a rookie contract. And they'll get a whole bunch for him if they decide to let him go, if Carson Wentz can stay healthy. But I think it was a great pick.
All right. Appreciate the call, Greg.
It'll be interesting.
It will be as we move forward. And that would be the case after a while. Say, Chris, Carson Wentz plays 2 years and is healthy all those 2 years, then you would take a look and decide to make a move. You know, like after he passed. Would you say that after 2 years without getting injured again, you'd probably be like, okay, we could probably get something for him, and then make a decision?
Yeah, I mean, I might wait 3, but yeah, if Wentz is healthy 2 years,
then, and they're winning, and they're winning.
What I don't like, I mean, if I don't like the idea of trying to use him like Taysom Hill because my quarterback's not 41. You know what I mean? Like if Carson's healthy, he's in every down, every snap.
He should be. All right, let's go real quick to Weedman Hippie, who's a Ben Maller caller. And hold on, Weedman Hippie, real quick.
I love you both. I listen to you every night. Wow. I love you. Michael Jordan is the king. He's the best. LeBron, I'm 61. I watch them both.
61? Wow, you sound like you're about like 17.
Wow.
You sound like
I'm
Jeff
in Miami.
Spicoli.
I'm in Miami.
You sound like Jeff
I watched
Spicoli or
LeBron win the
his first name was.
championships. LeBron is the greatest orchestrator of a team. Michael Jordan's a killer, flat out. That's the difference. And the hand-checking rule makes basketball different.
Well, we appreciate the call in.
I love you. I love you both. I listen every night.
Thank you, awesome.
My man. 61, Rob.
And can I say this, too? Speaking of Ben Maller, who's the best and, of course, does the overnights. But let me tell you, Ben Maller on Rob G, was it Instagram or Twitter, wearing a odd couple hat as he was doing his show, which was awesome.
Maller. Well, he was wearing it during his radio show, and the live stream had it on
the live stream,
entire
Chris,
time. Yep,
wearing our hat. Ben Maller's the best. He's the freaking best.
He does a great job. No question.